Welcome viewers back to Phoenix Point. Remember last mission we sent the A-team into a protean mutane field here. They're still there waiting for someone to arrive in another vehicle. Maybe we didn't actually do that. We should send somebody down there to spell them. But we're gonna do that after we do the Scavenging Site, which the Inaccessible has arrived at with the B team led by Charlie 1, our Soul Mutoid, and Citizen Eileen, arguably our best sniper, although she has recently become a sniper infiltrator. So we'll see in this mission if that gives her any help. She wasn't able to really skill up that much, but with her sneak attack skill, maybe if we can keep her in the shadows, we can get some advantage and protection. This mission, basically, it's a Rich Scavenging mission. We're going to try to get in, get out with as much as we can carry. No point in lingering or trying to kill all the creatures. We just want to take minimal damage, use the minimal amount of ammo, and get out with as much equipment as we can. That said, Scooby is going to be raining hell down on the enemies with his rockets. Okay, we see a chest over here that looks like maybe that's the farthest one. And then a whole line of them on the left side near the entrance. So we're going to ignore that far one. Unless a miracle happens, but yeah, that one's inaccessible. In fact, we might even ignore this one and just try to sweep this way on this lower corner. This one's in range to start, and I think Charlie is actually in a good position to pick that up. Charlie can dash, and will do so. As far as I know, dashes can't be interrupted by enemy movement, so it's a good way to run up when you are pretty sure you're not going to run into any trouble. Okay, that's a good uncover for us there because it's 2 units we can hit with rockets, and it's pretty close. There's an Arthron shield bearer back there who is not a threat for now. This shield bearer champion is a priority target, as well as this Triton footpad. Best thing we can do right away is strip their armor with some heavy rockets. Some very nice hits, thank you, Scooby. In fact, that Arthron, actually, he does not have a spitterhead, so he is effectively out. Arthron shield bearer is bleeding out slowly. This footpad Alpha has regen 10 and is bleeding 40, so that's pretty good. We've taken out 2 arms, but they are the wrong arms, so we do need to pay attention here. He has both a Deimos laser rifle and blood-sucking arms. I believe it was the blood-sucking arms that we took out. Yeah. These 2 down here versus these 2 up here. If we look at that guy's model, it looks like he's still carrying his gun. Upper arms we took out. His lower arms are shielded, as is his head, so that's why we were probably able to take those out. Okay, that means that Mist, from here, you're kind of not in the best position. So I don't think we're going to boom blast from you this turn. We're just going to do 1 grenade over at that direction.
This is going to make all the difference.
So technically I could boom blast, but all it does increase our range. Okay. Reduces it to, so you could run a little bit more, but that's pretty expensive. You can only do this twice before you have to rest. We do need to get you a couple more points of will. We're going to skip the boom blast. This should take care of the problem, assuming that armor is well shredded by now. Alright, we did take out one of the shooty arms, so unless he has a pistol, I believe he can't shoot at us. He's also bleeding 50, so he's going to be dead in 2 turns. Bleed up here went to 70, and this guy is pretty much out of the game. Somehow still standing. Great. That means Charlie can just ignore them, and hopefully there's not another enemy right there. But Charlie can ignore, and it looks like, yeah, it's going to cost 1 action to pick these up. We got a tech, 2 materials, and some food. That is a lovely haul. Charlie is going to spend that action point. I guess we'll pick up some of this ammo too. I'm not sure if there's anything obvious here. Redeem your magazine. Sounds expensive. I'm not sure if there's a priority on which ammo you should pick up. I don't think we need to do the war cry here. We could fire these spiders, right? No, we can't fire spiders. You've moved too far. Okay. So you're actually going to stay in the back for now. And maybe we'll fire your spiders next turn. On this side, yeah, I think it's a good shout to ignore that. One thing I forgot to check is if you look at these guys, yeah, they don't have a label here saying that they do corruption damage, which means there's no Acheron hiding in the shadows right now. We're going to dash with Tyzok. Better to get you out front faster. And I think this is going to be a double dash. You know what? Actually, I think you're going to take a shot at that. I don't like that it could just regenerate next turn. So what you're going to do instead of double dashing is you're going to use rapid clearance. And then you will shoot at this thing. I don't like that angle. That's a good one. Nice. We got a lucky kill, and she is able to dash again.
Time for the push.
And then we can get her further along, although shoot, I was hoping that there was a path up here. Doesn't look like there is. It's all the way on the other side, so you just want to dash behind the building, really. Okay, and just checking her.
I'm listening.
She sees a Chiron. A new enemy who she didn't stop and look at because she was dashing. Chiron Fuji, I think that is a flame worm Chiron, although not positive until it fires, honestly. Okay, way back here we have Citizen Eileen, who's going to be doing her best to stay hidden. And her job is going to be hidden and try to take out that Chiron. So she can't fade back into the shadows if she's spotted. So I'm not quite sure how sight works, especially with an Arthron whose head is disabled. Like, I'm hoping his sight range is diminished, but we're going to run her all the way. And watching her symbols, it does look like she kept her stealth. So she's in the back line. She'll get a damage bonus if she manages to snipe something with that. Jen here can hop up on this crate, and he sees the Chiron. But that is not the greatest shot. Jen, so let's move a little further. And what does your pistol shot look like now? Not really the greatest. What about on that thing? Not really worth it. So yeah, Jen, I think your option here is just to keep moving. And maybe we will take a pistol shot on this guy. Maybe there's a chance that we paralyze him? No, we needed one more point. That's too bad. So he's not gonna, but he won't be able to move, really. And oh, we did enough damage that he'll die next turn. Fantastic, Jen. That was actually quite worth it. Finally, we have Scooby who can move forward a little bit and give us some shielding. There's probably some Mind Fraggers out there. There's probably some Myrmidons. Maybe another Triton. Let's end that turn there and see what they bring at us. Alright, Chiron Fuji is going to fire some... Nope, he hasn't detected us. Is that what's happening? Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, how can we get to a position where we can do damage on these things? I don't even think the Mist... Oh, the Mist Sentinel did spit out mist, so it may have seen us. I'm not sure. Let's start with Tyzok. Tyzok would like to get up here. So she's going to dash for that.
I want a medal for this.
Alright, in the crate she found a tiny amount of materials. She gets a grenade. This rocket looks pretty valuable, and I don't know, we can always use the Pythagoras rounds. So from here, you do have a shot on that thing, but that's way too long a range for you to be effective at. So I think if we switch you to combat, it would really be nicest if you could spot something for us if there's anything dangerous over here. So I don't see anything. There's always a chance that they swarm on us from other sides of the map. But yeah, get forward, keep your eyes open, and guard the exit here. Unfortunately, no Overwatch left, but you can chill there for now. Charlie 1, your time has come to fire some scouting spiders. Let's throw you out front and see how far you can get them. Okay, you saw the Arthron we'd already seen before. That's okay. So, nothing new. You go in here to the edge of the ruins. And we'll do a triple pack. These things are pretty expensive, but they're always worth it. That Arthron didn't really move last turn. I guess we'll try to get them over here. I'm afraid of hitting that tree, of course, but let's try to keep it clear. Spider drones just disappear if you get obstructed by any terrain, so it's important to be careful with the distribution. Yeah, our next target right now is this zone here, so we want to like swoop around to this side. We want to clear up here so there's nothing coming our backs, but basically we want to change our facing as a unit so that we're kind of facing up that direction. So that means snipers get forward. I don't think we'd want to waste your shots on anything unless we get sight on the Arthron there. Yeah, so here we get a shot on the Arthron. Let's see if that's worth taking. That is a very, very nice weapon. I don't think it'll be a kill, but it might do enough damage. We should probably quick aim it and get a little closer. So if we were here, I'd still see you. Interestingly, not here though. So from here we can quick aim. You've got enough willpower for that. And it's the fact that you're sneaking. So it's really like this one shot that you get while you're sneaking. I wonder if you don't kill it, does that mean you're no longer sneaking? Or even if you do, it might make sense to save this high damage for something less armored that we want to do a lot more damage to. So, well, we did waste the will there. She is going to try to stay hidden. and sneak over here. Mist, on the other hand, doesn't care about being sneaky, and neither does Scooby. Really should have led with Scooby. We're going to advance Scooby a tiny bit to here and check on the range. It looks like we'll probably hit a tree. We always hit the tree. Maybe we'll get over. Nice. We did alert that guy. But Scooby, the only direction you can move is over this way, so you're going to do that. And then that gives Mist an opportunity. Could Boom Blast from here.
Check this out.
We can almost reach it without the Boom Blast, although the tree is dangerous. So if we Boom Blast, I think that means we'll definitely reach it. And here we go with some Hail Mary grenades from across the map, right through a tree. Maybe over here it's less likely to hit the tree. Very nice. Both arms and the head down so that Arthron is out of the picture. This is why we love grenades. He will probably leave the board before he bleeds out, but it's nice to whittle the board space down. Let's try to get another shot over the building and take out some of this mist. It's kind of a trick shot, honestly. Like anytime you're on the edge where it goes white, you're gonna hit something. So maybe over here is safer. Okay, we alerted it, and it took damage. Miss Sentinel, it doesn't really matter if you're alerted. This is actually going swimmingly well. We never really expect a scavenging mission not to be like an immediate scary situation. Alright, Mist, you hang tight there. Scooby, you're done. We still have Jen. Can we get Jen in a position to do anything useful? Not really. I guess, Jen, you really want to get down here so we can aim you upfield that way. So let's just run as fast as you can across the board. Get you over here. Some more mist coming out of the gross thing. And as predicted, Shield Bearer Champion doesn't feel like playing anymore, so he's running for the exit. Chiron Fuji still doesn't know we're here. I love it. This is like the least problematic a Chiron has been for us. Okay, there's a siren coming from the backyard. And as predicted, a Myrmidon. Myrmidon does see us. Probably gonna have to snipe the Myrmidon. Oh, we do have explosions as an option here. Start with that. We will move actually diagonally next to him, I think. That should be far enough that we can blow up without hurting ourselves. Unfortunately, it doesn't take him out, but took out a wing. Gave him some bleed. I think we'll try a second one of those. Although, I do like the idea of sending both of them to blow this guy up, honestly. We've got a couple snipers. We have some options. Let's actually try to take out the Myrmidon before we decide what to do with those. Charlie has an option. What does it look like for you, Charlie? That's a pretty nice hit. Disabled the torso, I believe. It still has a pincher because of its left wing, maybe? No, I think these are attached to the torso, even though it doesn't really show it. Yeah, hit points, torso. Okay, it says it right there. So we destroyed that. It can't attack. It is a venom. No, it's a regular Myrmidon, so it's not threatening anymore. Which means we can spare these. We could take out the Mist Sentinel, or we could send them toward the Siren. I am all in favor of blowing the Mist Sentinel up. Now, it doesn't matter how far we move, the explosion does the same amount regardless. What the explosion also does, though, is destroy the mist. So centering that as much as possible helps defeat the mist guy, because there's no mist to worry about. Almost destroyed it with explosions. Loving that. We could probably kill it with Charlie if he could see it, honestly. It looks like he has some options over here. It's going to be a terrible shot, though. And Charlie is still hidden. Wow, okay. Does Charlie do extra damage for being hidden? Not really sure. Alright, we don't have to do much. Very, very nice. Is the thing bleeding out soon? It's going to be here a couple turns, so we could send another crossbow bolt at it. Oops, whoops, we're done. Charlie's done. Okay, the only real remaining threat is the Chiron, who's going to come around and bother us, and this Siren. Let's let the rest of them bleed out, but let's start with Scooby. Siren is an ideal target for our remaining ammo. Although there's always a tree in the way, isn't there? We're very likely going to hit the tree. It feels like this, biasing it this direction is a little more safe. But now we're probably not going to do any damage to the Siren. No damage whatsoever. Really? I expected one of them to do damage. Okay. That's the drawback of grenades. I think we're going to run. It doesn't really make sense for Mist to try to take that thing on. There's nobody in really any immediate danger from it. I can get close, but there's not no reason to stick around and try to engage it at close range. We'll get Mist way the heck over here. Okay, Tyzok. You are full. So you're basically our Overwatch master. We also have an Yggdrasil grenade on you. So if we get you here, just like invisible range of that thing, with no cover. It doesn't have any ranged weapons, so we're not worried about cover. What does your shot look like first off? Not so great. It's still kind of in a dumpster back there. What about your grenade throw chances? Yeah, no chances whatsoever. Maybe if we raced you that direction. But instead what we're going to do is just keep you over here in a flank. Actually, what we'll do is Overwatch with you to here, just in case it decides to come through this way. It probably won't, but if it does, we'll be ready. Well, not really, because that shot will be terrible. But we'll see. Citizen Eileen is still invisible. Unfortunately, she's not going to have a great shot. I guess if she gets on the other side of this obstacle, so she could get to here. That's probably her best chance of actually shooting in the thing. Maybe a little closer might help. Yeah, so if she goes here, I think she'll stay. I think she'll actually try to get furthest left and use a quick aim. She has enough will. It would be nice to have a mark for death on there also, but I don't think she's going to be close enough for that. Oh, she is. Great. Okay, so she will quick aim first. Well, let's actually check what the visual path looks like. Okay, that's not bad if we can get that tight. So let's check the quick aim.
Ready to fire.
Ugh, okay, it's not that great, honestly. That sucks. Okay, but we will mark it for death regardless. Regardless, we probably should have done this first thing. Marking it for death here is only going to help her shot if it hits. And it's going to be expensive, but we'll do it anyway. I really hope I... Damn it, I did it on the Myrmidon, didn't I? Damn it. Okay, well... she does have a shot still on the Siren. I'm not sure how she was able to mark the Myrmidon for death, even though she doesn't actually have a shot on it.
Acquiring target.
Okay, we did get the head. Thank goodness. It's bleeding. It's headshot. That's most of the threat of the Siren. It does have a lot of threat if it gets in close range, but we're pretty far away from that thing, so suddenly we are a lot less afraid. We're going to move our sniper across the field. We can also go pick some stuff up with Jen there, I think. The Citizen Eileen and Mist are the two that we most want to pick things up, so they're probably gonna get these things. Mist at the far one, Citizen Eileen at the closest one. Jen will head to this, and then we'll be done. I don't think we're going to try to risk getting that one. It's just too far. I think we're in a good position here. We don't have anything else to do. Actually, we'll move Jen closer just to reduce the amount of moves you have to make. That thing recovered from its mild panic. Probably have a Chiron that we can't see that's moving, and Siren's gonna do something. Spray Ichor out of its head is what I hope it's doing. Ooh, we did get a terrible Overwatch shot, but somehow it went off way too late. That is the Arthron, I believe. Slowly bleeding out. Probably gonna die before it gets off the board. And the Chiron decided it sees us. It's firing a group of nasty little worms. Okay, so worms are the only serious problem right now. If we have any pistols of the Hera variety, neural pistols, we can actually take these home with us. Especially if we do quick aims.
Ready to fire.
Yeah, let's do quick aims so that we don't use any action points for this, and make sure we get at least 2 shots on each of these. We'll just quick aim our way through this until we're out of will, so she gets as many shots as possible here.
I have a bad feeling about this. Angle.
She has another worm here. That is a terrible angle though, but she got it regardless. And she'll do it one more time. Okay, the second one, nothing.
Need an angle.
Oh, she gets a 3rd shot though. Okay, so we got both of those, and she has enough will to do another shot. Unfortunately, that other worm, for some reason, she can't see. So we're gonna have to leave that to Charlie, who can actually step over here and just point blank hit. Not sure why... Oh, was that another Siren? No, okay, so I think he sees this Siren back here is why that happened. Charlie's stepping up and going to crossbow this one. We don't need to take them all home. And then you're just going to start heading toward the exit. Charlie's bag is full. He's ready to get out of here. Just double checking that. Yeah, Charlie's one of the ones who picks stuff up. He can get out of here. Maybe fire a parting shot if we need it. Mist. Mist, I want you on that loot.
Yes.
Alright, we got a food, materials, and a mutagen. Also got a Yggdrasil grenade, which it's very strange that you can suddenly find those as drops once you know how to make them. Alright, we have Tyzok here. Tyzok could probably do some damage. I think the right thing to do though would probably be to head toward the exit. That bug is going to be dead next turn. Siren is still a danger. Is there any way we can mark her for death? No. Citizen Eileen, in fact, you should finish your move and just get out of here. Citizen Eileen, we do want you to go pick up some loot. Tyzok, I'm just not sure. I guess what we're going to do, though, is move Scooby. We'll try to hit the Siren with a couple more rockets. Close range, these are usually pretty good. Wow, somehow didn't disable anything else, but we did get it down to 40 health. Which means if Tyzok could see it, like, she could really do some damage. The problem is there's going to be more worms incoming next turn. There is another Arthron. So, yeah, I think what we do is... actually, we have plenty of willpower. And she has 4 action points, so we could zoom her here. Don't get in the vehicle, but you can drop your loot off in the vehicle. And actually, can you throw a grenade from there at that thing? Because that would be nice. Yggdrasil grenade. Yeah, those things just annihilate the bugs. Awesome, so she's loot free now. She can run back and get in that crate next turn. Do we have any? Yeah, definitely want to dash her. It would be nice to get one more zap on that thing. I thought we had 2. You have a hair pistol shot here, Jen. I'd like to get loot, so that's going to be 2 there. Hair pistol shot on that. Can you see it from over here? Yeah. So why don't you go here? We'll pick up your loot, which is mutagens, really. Barely any tech for this adventure, that's too bad. Lots of junky ammo though. Alright, and then you could probably take a shot at this thing. You have how many move points left? 2 move points, so you could actually do a Gungnir shot at it, but what we're trying to hit it with is the pistol. We'll use quick aim. And then I think it's this one. Yeah, let's quick aim and hopefully hit it at least once. Just once. That's all we need. Just once. We probably don't even need this once, honestly. But it's you know, makes me more comfortable if it has a couple more levels of paralysis on it. There we go. Knew you could do it. Okay, that's enough, and I think you can actually leave the board. First one out. Bye bye, Jen. Citizen Eileen, you're done. I'm not sure why you're even an option. I'm not sure what that is. There's a brute alpha in close proximity. That's Chiron. Throw in some goo at us. I guess we should have left gen there just in case there's an opportunity to shoot more spiders. I mean, worms, not spiders. Okay, that was a shield deploy. We didn't get any, like, none of the worms he fired are actually visible to us. There's a... Our Acheron Asclepius just showed up, so it is definitely time to go. Just checking, Mist, you are full. You can jump out of here, right? Yep. Scooby can't quite make it out, but maybe if these two are gone. Citizen Eileen, we do want you to pick something up. Actually,
Yes?
we emptied your bags, didn't we? So we can run you here for one, or get you slightly... No, it's no closer. Okay, so the best place for you to go is here for one full movement point. And take up 2 materials. Damn, I was really hoping for some tech. That's too bad. I guess we'll salvage a bunch of ammo. And then you can actually make it to the exit. What about Citizen Eileen? She can. I think she probably just should.
Quickly!
And then, can Scooby get out now? Yes, Scooby can get out now. So I think that's everybody. Let's make sure they do it in an order that makes sense. We do need to jump you.
Using...
Charlie's out. Tyzok can just run out. And Scooby making it out. Fantastic. And that's mission complete. $13 of 15 resource packs collected, not too bad. Very minor injury. In fact, I don't remember Jen taking any damage, so maybe that was left over from a previous mission. I don't remember any of that. So I think we did pretty good. We didn't get as much tech as I'd hoped. We did pick up a lot of materials, a lot of mutagens, and a good deal of food. 100 tech, that's not so bad. 700 materials. Could have been better. 200 food and 300 mutagens. Yeah, those kind of mutagens heavy. So we're going to have to replenish everything and trade for tech. Let's actually go immediately to manufacturing scrap items and look through what we can scrap here. We have a few extra Pythagoras now. These Hephaestus 2 magazines, we're never going to use these. All the rest of the stuff seems pretty useful. Ciphers, we'll never use the Cipher handguns. Unfortunately, these are only materials. The VVA arms energy pack gives us 5 tech, and we have 4 of those. We don't make these yet, so I'm not even sure what this is for. Fury 2 missiles, I might come back to these. Might try using one of these again, I'm not sure. The Cyclops SR7, I tend to not favor this over the Synedrian one, so I think this is worth scrapping. Although, that said, like, we might just run out of sniper rifles? No, I think we'll be fine. Let's scrap these. We don't need them. BDM Defender, the Deceptor MG. This is a New Jericho Gauss machine gun. Heavies sometimes carry these, so I'm gonna keep that. We don't need the Iron Fury. We don't need the Harrower magazine. Shredding shotgun. We don't even have this yet, so hold on. I'm getting the weird can't select it bug again. Harrower magazine. We don't know how to make a Harrower yet. I'm sure it's valuable. Iconoclast we do make. That's the shotgun we're using. Redeemer we don't know how to make yet. Anu virus rifle. So we'll scrap that ammo. Also, it's only 1 tech. I was hoping for more. Did I accidentally have to go through and do that again because of clicking off the tab? Great. There must be like a max you can scrap at one time is what I'm running into there. So let me quickly go through that all again. $44 tech, 234 materials for the first round, and then for the rest of the stuff, Harrower and Redeemer. That is all another 4 tech. Okay, not great. 133. That's better than what we had when we went in. We did get new research unlocked. The fireworm vivisection. We'll throw that at the top of the queue. Production robotics will be second. I'm not sure fireworm vivisection is going to give us anything, but that's such a short research time. Might be. But once we get through all the important stuff, if we run out, we'll go for these other things we've put to the side. But for now, it doesn't matter. Next up, we are going to send people around in vehicles. We have 4 people here. There's no training facility yet, right? Yeah, it's still a way to go. So, personnel at Phoenix Avionics. There's a couple empty vehicles there that we're going to use to spell the masked manticore at the mutant extraction site. We'll send you. You don't have a weapon. You don't need a weapon for this, man. Just get in the plane, fly it over there. It'll be fine. We'll send you in the chariot. So back on the screen, we will pick the chariot. It should have 1 person in it. We'll send you over to the mutane field, and when you get there, we can send the masked manticore home. Meanwhile, these 2 guys, oops, that's going to be inaccessible and carrier. We will send them up here to start doing explorations in the hopes that this direction opens up. We also might just send them straight onto this scavenging site here. We do need more scavenging, so we'll do that. Who else? That's the carrier also. Scooby's doing fine, so we'll go to this scavenge there. I feel like there was another one. Yeah, there's another one over there. Okay. And then we do want to try to get into Katapa and save it. I wish it was Synedrian, but there's just not enough Synedrian on these maps. Alright, the other thing is trading. So we're going to let this advance. We'll see if we get any interesting things happen. We are going to trade for tech here. Materials for tech, excellent. Another 130 tech. We have plenty of materials. Our tech is now at a nice reasonable place. Maybe time to think about another archaeology site. Did we start one here? No, we did not. So we're going to start another archaeology site here. Archaeology lab is 50 tech, 250 materials. Maybe we'll do another one at another base. We want to spread those around just so if we lose a base, we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket. I don't want to spread them around too much though, because I do want to stay kind of in range of defense. So yeah, maybe down here. It's not a lot of mist down here. And we could use an archaeology lab down here as well. Okay, that was a decent hit to our tech. Let's make sure Tenuous is going to another tech trade. Let me check these. That one's got 126 for food. This one is 138 for materials. And this one over here is 90 for materials. So let's bounce between these 3 for now and try to avoid spending food on tech if we can. Send you there. I don't think there's much happening besides that. That sounded like the trade arrival. Yep. Trade here is tech for materials for tech. Another 138 tech. We're actually sitting pretty there. In fact, once this Espeda's done, it might make sense to spend some more money. But yeah, that speed is kind of blocking our manufacturing queue. We'll send you here next for one more tech trade. Suddenly, our trades seem to be aligning correctly with our income, so our income is looking really good. What was that? Okay, that was the gift. I mean, the chariot arriving here. So that means the masked manticore here with everybody aboard, they're going to actually go home and do some R&R. They're getting a little bit tired, and we do need some repairs on Aphid. So they'll head here. Alright, we have a second haven infested by Pandorans. Extreme threat level. So that actually something we're going... Yeah, it looks like we have a whole string of missions here that we're going to have to bounce through soon. We're not sending the C team for that though, so they will... How are we doing down this way? Still nothing. 40% complete. I guess we just need to bounce around.
Research complete.
Fireworm vivisection is complete. Gives us a 10% damage bonus against fireworms. Woohoo! The intelligence level of the creature is low for all intents and purposes. The specimen can be classified as a biological smart bomb rather than an actual creature. It has no regard of its own safety or anything else as long as it reaches its target. The mechanism through which it homes in on humans remains unknown. Scent, sound, sight, and biological particles have been ruled out, leaving the possibility of some sort of psychic detection. The live specimen has simple behavioral patterns, but we have learned enough for our soldiers to gain some advantage against them in battle. Alright, here we go. Scavenging Site. Wait, that was only Scooby arriving, so we still are waiting for the second arrival. Before they arrive, we do get a trade to complete here. Tech for food. Did I just say something about this? And it's only 8 for 2. Yeah, we don't want this. I'm not sure why we even looked. Let's go and look at this one. This is also 8 for 2 tech for food. Okay, I guess we do those because there's not really any good alternative. We'll head back here. This is also a tech for food. Yeah, so I guess that's what we've been doing, is trading tech for food. For some reason I thought this was a tech for materials, but I guess there's only one of those available. So I guess we're going to trade food down and we'll get our food back up with Anu. It's going to be okay. We'll do this trade. Having the tech is nice, but I also don't want to run out of food. There's Anu here. We'll do probably a trade back there, where we give them 2 tech for 12 food. So that's a great profit. That's Mass Manticore returning to base for some R&R. And here we go. Here's our deployment to Scavenging Site. So we will quickly run through the B team again, doing another Scavenging Site. We have a bunch more mutagens. I still feel like Charlie's in a good place for scavenging. We're going to leave you as is. It looks like you have plenty of room in your backpack. Citizen Eileen, also 10 points. Couldn't hurt to give you more willpower. You do have 2 corruption points, so you're effectively at 16. That's a good number. We're going to hold off and just let you gain points. We also want to get Vanish on you. We'd also like Surprise Attack eventually. But for now, and also Quarterback, all of these would be nice. Self-Defense Specialist, not so much, but we're going to save your points. Nothing to do here. Nothing to see here. Tyzok, loadout seems good. You are a little low on willpower, also 15. Actually, not too bad. We're going to have to save your points. You need strength. Mist is definitely needs willpower. We will bump that up immediately. Corruption 2 means you're down to like 11 useful willpower points. Now you get 12. Probably don't want to cure you until you get up to Corruption 3, just so we're saving our mutagens. And nothing new that we want to get you. Jen, We'd really like to dual class you. It looks like we're saving your points in order to do that. You're up to 29, you need 50. Sorry, buddy. It is time to cure your corruption, though. Alright, and then Scooby, you're doing fine. Alright, we will deploy that squad next time. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Orknut playing Phoenix Point. Please consider leaving a comment, liking the video, or subscribing to the channel if you want to help it out. And in any case, I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.